everyone, what's up? This is Mike Gross at youtube.com/MG free guitar lessons. Thanks for tuning in today. Today's lesson is another request from a band called Nirvana, and the song is called Heart-Shaped Box. A couple things to point out right off the get-go is the tuning in this is drop D. As a matter of fact, it may be a half step down and drop D, but I'm tuned standard, and I'm going to drop D it. We're not going to go into big depth on the tuning here, because I'll do future lessons on alternate tunings, drop C sharp, drop D, whole step down, half step down, all that. But quickly here, I'll show you how to drop D. Right now it's standard, so it's E, A, D, G, B, E. All you have to change when you drop D something is the top string, the low E, and you got to think of the notes, how they work. If you got D, then you're going to have D sharp, and then you're going to have E. That's a whole step. So what we need to do is lower this top string, the equivalent of a whole step or 2 frets down. Over time you'll do it by ear, but I think what I want to show you, probably the smartest way to do it, if you have an electronic tuner, just tune it up to a D, or tune it down to a D. But you can do it by ear as well by going to fret 7, picking the 7th fret on the E, then hitting the open A, and lowering the E to make it sound like the A string. And it may seem kind of wacky, but you know, if you're familiar with standard tuning, like, then this concept will make sense. Everything else is going to stay the same. But you want to take your picking hand, go over here. Let me put distortion on so you can hear a little better. And the cool thing with distortion when you're tuning, whether it's with harmonics or just the way I did it now, you'll hear waves. As you start turning the string, the tuning key up here, the waves should start, they're going to be kind of fast, then they'll start slowing down, and then they'll reach the note that they need to. That's when you don't hear any waves. And if you pass the note, they'll start slowly again, and then the further you turn it, it'll go out until it's completely wavy. So it's like boom, and then you hit this spot, and then if you pass it, it does this. So that's all we're going to talk about for the drop D tuning for today, but it's not that hard to do. Okay, so the beginning on this, and Kurt Cobain, he used a lot of chorus, which is an effect that guitar players will use. Usually on the clean channel is where they use it. He used it on both, actually, a lot of times. Really, it's probably one of my favorite clean channel effects is a chorus. You can adjust the rate on them and make them faster. He had his rate kind of set up kind of fast. So here's what we're going to start with. I bar this, so I'm going to explain it that way. Open A, fret 2 on the D, and fret 2 on the G. Just cover both those strings, okay? And here's what we're going to do on the picking. A, D, G, D. And pick that how you want. I go down, down, up, up. Because it's not a fast progression, it allows you to pick downstrokes on all of it if you want. It's a good habit to do the down, down, up, up, though. It'll help you with future songs if you have something that's fast. So let me play the whole progression first, and then we'll break the next parts down for you. Add some chorus to that, and it's going to sound like 90s grunge, man. So, I showed you the first part. You got the open 2, 2, 2. Then, middle finger, go up to fret 3 on the E, A, and the D string. It might feel a little awkward, but you want to bar that. So it should be, you want to try it individually. We hear 3 notes clearly, then you play this. It's the same type of pick pattern you just used on the last chord, which was an A. So here's what it does. E, A, D, A. Subgroup. You're going to get so sick of me saying it, but someone maybe new that's tuned into this channel. I want them to understand subgrouping, taking little pieces of a riff, breaking it down and just repeating it, making a beat out of it, tap your foot with it. So up to there we got. The next next part is open. It's all opens. You don't need your left hand for this. E, A, D, A, D, A. E, A, D, A, D, A. Dat, 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 dat. Good subgroup, right? So that's the first half of the intro here. Then you go back, repeat the first two I just taught you, and then it changes. Hit the top string open, take your middle finger, it's probably the best one for this, to fret 2 on the D string, and you're going to pick, do a whole step ascending slide, ascending this way, and you'll slide up to fret 4. You want to make sure this top string's still ringing. So you're going to pick, slide, and then pick again right where you're at, and then leave it there, hit the open A, and then go right back to the D string where you still have your middle finger sitting. So it's leave your middle finger down, put your index on fret 3 on the A string, and we're going to play the A and the D together twice. And then lift them both off and hit the open D and G. So it's, and don't overanalyze it. If one note's not as clear as the next, that was kind of Kurt Cobain's thing. It wasn't always the cleanest at times. So, but my point is, if you overanalyze it, it's pointless. Just go for the vibe, the beat, the feel of it. Okay, and then that goes on for quite a while. The next part that comes up at the end, between this section and the next, he kicks on his distortion. And I'll show you how that transition goes. It's going to go. So, it's a little different than the last time though. Top 2 open, middle finger, 2D, pick, whole step slide. Hit it 3 more times. 3rd fret A twice. Okay, and then the next part officially kicks in right here. And I'll play it, then we'll break it down. Okay, so that part broken down. It's a power chord, open A. I take my first finger, bar D and G, 2nd fret. If you only hit A and D, that's fine. If you hit A, D, G, that's fine as well. You're hitting the octave off the A. So I'm going to play them twice. My thumb's coming up, muting the top string, just to be safe there and mute it out, in case I hit it, which I probably will. So it'll go 2 times, and then 3rd finger, fret 4 on the G. I put 2 fingers behind that. Middle finger, 3rd fret G, 1st finger, 2nd fret G, bend. A half step bend on that. The reason I put the fingers there is you have more control as you're bending, especially if you have to bend further. If you had to do a whole step, that really becomes important. But he's doing a half step bend, 1 fret bend, so you have. If you don't want to do it that way, you can use 1 finger. You can bend up or you can bend down. Either way, it's going to ascend like that. Okay, next part. Middle finger, bar 3rd fret, low E and A, and do those 2 strings twice. And then right back to the bend. Same spot. So we have subgroup right there. Perfect. Okay, and the next part, top 2 strings open, and middle finger back here. A lot of similar parts that are repeating. So I'm doing the slide up. Let's see. slide, and then hit it 3 times, and then index finger fret 3 on the A. You can lift this off, the middle finger, and then back to 4G, and do the half step bend again. When I do that, I'm using 2 fingers for the half step bend, using my index to mute out the top. You don't have to do that, it's just how I do it. So half step's critical though. You don't want to go. There's got to be a certain distance. Okay, so that's most of the parts. There's one more part coming up. It's the easiest part of the song, and that goes. Okay, so slow down. It's 3rd fret, middle finger, E and A, and they're 8th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 times, and then lift it off and hit the 2 opens. Let those ring, and then I'm back to the 4th fret G to do 2 half step bends. Oh, actually, it might be 3. I think that's how it goes. You're going to bend it a half step, hold that half step while it's there, and then pick twice again. So I just repeated the chords there 8 times, and then the open, and then it ends with this. Back to this piece that you've done earlier. Middle finger 2D. Pick and slide a whole step to 4, then pick 3 times. And then 3rd fret A, index finger. And then open A. Yep, missed it. So that's the whole song. Goes back and repeats the clean channel, the whole part that went. So that's everything. If you have any questions on this song, hit me up on my comment section of my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/MG, that's me, free, whichever one likes, guitar lessons. youtube.com/MG free guitar lessons. And thanks for tuning in today. Spread the word. I appreciate it. I will bring you guys some more guitar lessons real soon. And if you have some songs you really want to learn, hit me up. We're going to be moving into some guitar solo stuff here in the near future. And in the meantime, comment, subscribe, like, practice, subgroup. Don't forget to subgroup. Very important. And I got to wrap it up because my cat is right here. And he wants me to play him some classical music. So that's his favorite kind of music. I wish you could see him. Maybe I could. Let me see. Come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Right here. My favorite cat in the world. And we call him 𝐒𝐂𝐿. And he'll jump up on my lap while I'm playing. So good thing he actually opened the door and walked in just now. Climbed up, turned the handle, pushed it open full force. And anyways, he's my musical cat that loves hanging with me in my recording studio. Anyways, enough of that chatter. But we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. Hi, he. Hi, bud. Hi, 𝐓𝐀𝐿. Hi. Hi, 𝐓𝐀𝐁𝐒. Hi, 𝐓𝐀𝐁𝐒. Hi, 𝐓𝐀𝐁𝐒.